Hey friends, welcome back to my bathroom. In this bathroom we talk about intimate things, we get vulnerable, we get real, and there's been one topic that has been on my mind for quite some time. I just had this feeling that I wanted to talk about it on this channel since maybe this can help some of you guys. I wanted to come in here with a quick disclaimer. I realized that all the issues that I'm talking about in this video come from a great place of privilege and that not everyone has the privilege and the luxury of choice. Many people have to take what they can get and what is given to them, but I still felt like it was important or relevant to share this video. I know that many of people out there have gone through similar or going through similar things that I've gone through, so I hope that this video can help some of you that are going through something similar. So in the past year, I've gone through a lot of change. I've gone through a lot of figuring out what I want, what kind of direction I want to go down, and I've been feeling this kind of lack of direction. I didn't really know what my immediate future or my further future would look like. I didn't really know how I wanted to get to specific goals or destinations. I just had this lack of direction and I didn't really know what I wanted. And it is not a very nice feeling to have. I felt like I was kind of floating about in the ocean, not really knowing which direction to paddle to and just kind of focusing on one day after the other, but at the same time being scared that I was wasting time not really heading into a direction that I wanted to head down, or just not being intentional with where I'm guiding my life towards, if that makes sense. All I knew is I had this big fear of having this, I guess, normal life. That's the only thing that I knew that I didn't want. If I took a look at neighbors, at co-workers, or just at the general population, I guess the mainstream thing where you go to school, you get a degree, you get a job, you work at an office, you get married, you have kids, you buy a house, and then you retire, and just I guess that generic consumerist career ladder climbing life. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I've always had this feeling that I want to be different, I want to do something exciting, I want to have an adventure with life, and that didn't sound like something that fully resonated with me. And I was also really scared that because there is no direction that I'm intentionally going towards, 5 to 10 years would suddenly pass me by and I'd suddenly wake up and feel like, whoa, how did I get here? This is not really the life I wanted, or at least not intentionally, and I'd be filled with this sense of regret. I think that is something that I feel like is very scary, the sense of regret, feeling like you're too late. And the first time I experienced this in my life, I feel like was with ballet. So I did ballet as a child and I always loved it, but I never had the thought or the idea to pursue it further. I didn't really do it long either, but I've kind of always felt like this connection with it. I don't know if this sounds weird, but I never knew it as a possibility to even have as a job. I always thought it's something that people just do for fun. And for me, it's this go to school, have an office job, kind of, that was the predestined life for me. So I didn't really think about ballet as an opportunity. This year, I've kind of taken the leap to be brave enough to actually go back and start ballet again as an adult, and then it just rekindled and resparked all those feelings. And on top of that, my teacher telling me that she saw a lot of potential in me, and she said it was such a shame that I didn't start earlier. That made me so sad. I came home crying. For one, I was really glad that she saw, I guess, maybe the spark in me that I felt with ballet, but at the same time, I was so sad because I knew that it was too late for me. It's too late to have a ballet professional career at age 26. As I said, it was the first time I was filled with so much regret. Not to say that my life now is worse than a ballet life that I could have had, but it's a life that I would have wanted, but now is just not possible anymore for me. And I've kind of already mourned that alternate life and put that to rest, and I'm fine with it, and I'm happy with where I am and the life that I have now. But it's the first time that I felt regret at such an intense level, and it was really, really scary, and I don't want to feel that ever again if possible. I think a lot of people go down this road where they just go down the path that they've kind of already gone down, what is kind of expected of them, what the majority does, without thinking too much about, is this even the life that I want for myself? I think there is this lack of intentionality when it comes to designing your life. And I remember Johannes and I were on a date coffee run, and we were sitting at the same table as two women who were older than me. If I had to guess, maybe mid-30s, end 30s, mid-30s. And they were talking about all the dreams that they used to have when they were younger in the sense of beginning 20s, university times, and all these plans and dreams that they had that they just, I guess, forgot about, or just not intentionally didn't do, but time just passed them by. And now they are at where they are, and now it's in a sense too late. One of the women was talking about how she had so many passions, so many plans. She'd love to be a designer, she'd love to do something with her hands, maybe even work at a wood workshop. And her friend said to her, well, you can still do that. But she kind of felt like she was already in this lane that maybe is a little too comfortable, and maybe she had a family, maybe she has other responsibilities that is just more difficult to break free of, in the sense that it's too late now. I kind of have to go down the path that I've been going down so far. And it made me so sad. And again, that sense of fear of regret kind of came back. And I was thinking to myself, I never want to be like that woman. I never want to suddenly realize that it's too late, I'm too old, I've gone too far down a path where I don't feel like making a big change is that realistic. And now I'm just living a life that has come to me kind of as by default and not one that I actively chose. For my boyfriend and I, it was really important to us to be closer to family than we are now. We live pretty far away from family, and we just want the possibility to visit them, especially when your parents are getting older. You want to be able to be with them in case anything happens. And so we knew that sooner or later we wanted to move back to closer to where our parents are. And we also knew we didn't want to live necessarily in a huge city, in the city center. We like nature, we like just a little bit slower pace of life. But at the same time, the thought of moving back to where my parents are, maybe into a smaller city or a smaller town, just didn't excite me. It was, I mean, it's fine, but I wasn't too excited about it. And I felt like that shouldn't be the case. I have one life to live, and I should feel excited about the things that I'm intentionally bringing into my life. I mean, why choose that path if it's not exciting me? So I thought about it a lot. What do I want? Who am I? What direction do I want to go down? Because I was looking for that life, that goal, that direction that was going to excite me. I want to feel excited about life. And I think that a lot of times the older people get, the less excited they become about life. And in my opinion, that is kind of the essence of youth, that excitement and that joy for life. And I definitely want to keep that. For me, the dilemma was that I felt like I wanted two things that were a little bit conflicting. On one hand, it was really important for us to move closer to where our parents are, just to be able to be with them more. But on the other hand, we have this hunger for adventure and travel and doing something along the lines of what we did in Florence. So living in a foreign country or city for 2 to 3 months, just to really immerse yourself in the culture that way. So it was kind of two things that were really conflicting, and I didn't really know. I felt like I had to choose one over the other, which I didn't want to do. Since either living away from my parents I wouldn't feel too great about, but then at the same time, not traveling, not doing that sense of adventure is also not something I feel great about. I just kept being persistent and thinking about what kind of life do I want. There has to be a version where I feel excited about. And one day it kind of hit me, the answer to a life that would really, really excite me. And since becoming clear on the vision of what do I want, what are my goals, what direction do I want to go down really, really intentionally, I've been able to feel this excitement, like this giddiness and this happiness and this joy come back. And that was what I was searching for, and that I felt like I lacked last year. And now that I know what I want or what direction I want to go down, I can redirect and realign everything to align with that goal. It's something that I can work towards and something that I can choose very intentionally. It's definitely not a normal life that was really scared of having. I wanted to have adventure, which I would have. So we really want to do more of that Florence living abroad thing, but we're going to, I guess, frequent back and forth between being close to our parents and then going back abroad for 2 to 3 months and then coming back and visiting our parents and just having both worlds. And it's something that is so exciting to us. So I wanted to, I guess, share the story and my experience with it to get you to think about, are you designing your life intentionally? Are you excited about the path that you're going down, where you're going to be in 5 or 10 years? Is it one that you're choosing intentionally, or is it one that is just happening by default, or one that other people are expecting you to go down? Since kind of rekindling this excitement, this passion that I have for life, I felt like I want to share this with others and tell others that you too can design a life that you're excited about. It might not seem possible in the moment like it did for me, but I guess through going inwards more and really thinking about what do I want, who do I want to be, what kind of life do I want, I was able to find the answer or the kind of life that I want to lead and that I'm really excited about. So I think that everyone can have a life that they're excited about. It will look so completely different for everyone. Everyone is excited about different things, but I want to encourage you not to go down that default path and be like that lady in the cafe who is, I would say, filled with regret that she didn't go down a path that she necessarily chose intentionally, and it didn't sound like it was a life she was excited about. It was the life that kind of just happened to her. I do have to say though that I'm so lucky and thankful that I don't have a family to support, I don't have children, I don't have debt, I don't have mortgage, and that kind of gives me a little bit more freedom to design the life that I want. But of course I also have financial limitations, but I think within our individual limitations we can still design a life that excites us. It doesn't necessarily have to be travel, and life that excites you may be a very simple and quiet life with a family of your own, or with spending a life close to animals or close to nature. The main thing is that you are excited about what you're choosing and that you're choosing very, very intentionally. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and it somewhat made sense. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.